think I've ever kissed a boy before?
No. Shara also called her boy science teacher mom. When are you the most fun?
Never. No, just kidding.
Never. Put you working with like foster children.
Yes! Hi guys, it's Jordan. It's in with a member, Katie. And you're gonna be exposing me today.
Yes.
Oh no.
I'm excited. That's
I'm
awesome.
nervous. I don't know why. Okay, so basically, I kind of saw Emma Chamberlain do this, but also a lot of you guys were requesting this. So I kind of used some of the same questions that Emma used, and I just want to see your answers. I'm kind of nervous. We'll see what happens.
And I'm a pretty truthful person, so this gives me permission to expose or insult you without having any backlash on what I say.
Yep.
Right?
Full permission. Yep. Oh no. I'm scared. I don't know what you're gonna expose me on, but I'm like nervous. I don't have anything that I'm hiding, but like,
okay, I'm
I
excited.
don't know. What are you gonna
What
like
will I say?
remember?
I hope they're good questions.
Like, is there anything from my childhood that I've forgotten about that you remember? I don't know.
I'll probably forgot to be honest. So.
Okay, so let's start with question number 1. When am I most frustrating? Alright, what's your answer?
Okay, so I would say you're probably most annoying when you're like me. And I don't mean that. I don't mean that as like you copy me. I just mean that your personality's a lot like mine.
That's true.
And so like some of the like I guess you clash with the person that's most like you.
Okay.
And so I feel like we are more likely to butt heads if it's like something that I think and then you think the same, and then it's like we're both
Oh, because we think, this is what happens all the time. This is how my dad explains it. So we both are trying to say the same thing, but we're saying it differently. But it's like we both are like going back and forth, trying to say the same thing, but like kind of butting heads because we're too similar. But I don't know how to explain it.
So, and then the other thing is
I don't
like,
realize it, but
I guess can I disclose 3 things on it?
Oh my gosh! Like, wait, that was not the answer I thought you were gonna say.
Oh, that's one. When you argue, like, and this is part of like when you argue, that's annoying. But part 3 of that is like when you want something, or even when you argue, you don't stop.
Oh, I'm kind of stubborn.
She's so stubborn. Like she'll go for years, proving her point.
Yeah, I'm a little
for
stubborn.
years. Okay?
Well, if I really believe in something,
Every
I'm passionate. I'm passionate.
And if like I need a reminder, hey, would you remember to make this appointment? It's
I'll remember.
every day, or sometimes every hour, every
you
day.
asked me to.
But it's like constant. That's the most annoying
Because for the past week I've been telling Mom,
make
a dentist appointment, make a vet appointment, make a
vet
dentist
appointment for
make
the
a
dogs.
dentist appointment.
It's
Anyways.
like, ugh. Like, and I'm just like, hey, if I'm doing something, I put it in the back of my mind on my task list. But yeah, but Jordan's like right on top of it, like, do this, do this, do this,
Get it done.
do this, do this.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I promise I'm not like super pushy. I'm just gonna reminding people. If they tell me to remember something, I'll remember.
She does. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to question 2. This one will be a little bit more lighthearted. When am I most fun?
When are you the most fun?
Never. No, just kidding.
Never. Jordan is the most fun when, I don't know, like I guess like if we're playing games and hanging out, she is pretty fun. Or like,
Thanks, Queen.
or I would say I like it when she's like in a cleaning mood. That's kind of fun.
I love my cleaning moods.
She turns on the music and just gets the whole house scrubbed. And for me, that's fun because not only is there fun music, but she's like cleaning my entire house.
Yeah.
So I'd say when we're playing games or doing activities, or I mean, isn't that kind of normal?
That's
for most
true.
people?
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, number 3. I have a guess on what you're gonna say, but I want to see what you say first. So, what was my weirdest phase in life so far?
Your weirdest phase?
Yeah, I think I know what you're gonna say, but I don't know.
It's probably the same phase for what any kid goes through. It's that, I'd say 12, 13-year-old phase where they're kind of awkward because they're growing into their teen bodies, but they're also like...
Right when I started YouTube!
Yeah, right?
I thought you were gonna say my Miranda sings phase.
Oh.
But that was the same time era, so I don't know.
Across you and Audrey.
I would only speak like Miranda sings, literally, only, for like 2
Constantly.
years! It was so annoying.
It was so annoying. We
Looking
couldn't
back,
get
I
her
was
to
like,
stop. And this wasn't just like for on camera or something. This was like
stop me!
all the time. If she talked to somebody, she talked to somebody.
My friends even tell me too. My like, oh yeah, I remember. I was like, yeah.
Like when you first moved in,
Yeah,
you were
like,
talking like that. Oh man.
Good for
Embarrassing.
suppression.
Well, I'm glad they're still your friend.
Oh man. Question number 4 is very juicy. Alright, mother, do you think I've ever kissed a boy before?
No. I think no, because you said no. Because you said, I haven't even held hands with a boy. And we're like, you have your brother. When he was little and you had to walk him across the road. Or
Actually, this is my way of
You
telling. No, just kidding. No,
Yeah, you had a social life.
I know, right? The past year has been full on
Past year it's been crazy, and even before that, she's so into her career
business
stuff,
and everything.
and
That
so she
ain't got no
it's
time
hard.
for no boys. Anyways, no,
to
I was
balance.
gonna say the only one is Atlas, my dog.
Ew,
But
that's the worst.
no, he gives me kisses on my hand.
He licks everybody.
Number 5. If you could choose a job for me that I'm not doing now, like I'm not doing YouTube, what would it be? What do you think? What job would it be?
I
really like this question actually.
I would probably make you the owner of a pet reserve for animals, a rescue reserve. That's what
Yes.
Because she's
That'd be so good.
It's either that or I would put you working with like foster children.
Yes.
Because she's very nurturing towards animals and towards children. I mean, towards anybody, but really she has a tender heart for those 2 demographics.
Ding, ding,
And so,
ding.
yeah, I would say you'd be really good at those jobs.
Question number 6. What is my scariest injury story? I'm curious what you're gonna say because I have a few, but also some of them it was while you weren't with me.
Oh.
So
Well then,
I don't know
that. There's 2 that I can think of, but one more so than the other. I think the most scary that I can think of, well, there's actually 3.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
The most scary is when you tumbled in the waves because you could have drowned.
Wait, yeah, and you weren't there? That's
No,
what
I
I was
wasn't
thinking.
there.
Yeah, I didn't know that you were gonna guess that one.
I
did
would
not
say that one
remember
because
that.
your life was on the line, so that was scary.
I was drowned.
Like she got in an undercurrent in the waves as
with my
splashed
friend.
her under, and so she was having a hard time getting up to the surface.
Anyways, that was a long time ago. But
Number 2 is when
I didn't think you were gonna say that one. That's what I was thinking.
we had to go to the hospital and have your heart scanned to see if like you had
Oh
any
yeah.
problems.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Like
I
to see
forgot.
if like that was kind of scary because you don't want something medically wrong.
That's true. I didn't really see
scary.
this on the internet, but was it like a year or 2 ago?
Yeah.
2 years ago? I don't know.
She was
A few
highly
years ago.
stressed at the time.
Yeah, was it junior year? It was probably junior
Junior
year.
or senior year of school when everybody's stressed.
Yeah, I remember I
But
mentioned
she
it.
exceptionally so.
Yeah, I remember I mentioned in one video that I was like having heart palpitations and it was like weird. And so later we went to the doctor to get it checked out and everything, and they had to like scan my heart and all this crazy stuff. Turns out they don't really know what it is, but it's not anything wrong with my heart. But they're pretty sure it's from anxiety, which I'm pretty sure too.
And she has strong anxiety that like affects her really strongly. And so I don't know. I don't know how.
That's true. I didn't even remember that. I forgot completely about that time.
Yeah,
weird.
that's
What's
pretty
it-
scary. The
what's it
third
for?
one is Choppy Choppy.
Oh,
So
yeah.
The story of Choppy Choppy is when we lived in Florida,
Oh my
the
goodness.
girls were helping me, Audrey and Jordan were helping me prune back some shrubbery.
Yeah.
And we were fairly young, but you know,
You're old enough to, yeah.
my kids are old enough to work the tools, so we were helping. And Jordan started goofing around with her sister, and she's all choppy, 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 choppy with the pruning shears. And next thing you know, she drops them on her toes that were barefoot.
I was in
Chopped her
flip-flops.
toe.
Why was I in flip-flops?
Because that's all we wore in Florida. We never wore
That's true.
sneakers or any
But like,
other shoes, just
looking
flip-flops.
looking back though, I'm like,
Yeah, and
You
she
know?
actually, right after saying choppy choppy, she chopped her foot, and it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Her toe.
yeah. Okay, next question. I'm super curious for this one. Tell me about a time that I embarrassed you. I know, I'm like, I don't know. If so, if you have been embarrassed by me, you haven't told me, because I don't remember this.
I don't know that my kids have ever embarrassed me. The only one that's embarrassed me is Jake.
What? Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Never mind.
So if you want that story, then comment down below that Jake and Ty should do this video where I expose them.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
No, because it was just because of one thing that he said. He called her out in front of somebody, and I was like, Well, not called you out.
He's just very blunt and honest.
Yeah, but it's not anything about
sometimes you don't say what you're thinking.
Yeah, anyways.
Anyway,
Not called you out,
I could tell you the full story, but...
And another video!
This is Jordan's video, not Jake and Ty's. I don't think that the kids have ever done anything or said anything that has made me embarrassed.
Really?
Not even when you dressed as Elf and went in the mall, I wasn't embarrassed.
I was gonna say, I have
proud.
one.
I don't know.
You're proud of me being an elf?
It's like, whatever. Because I think, like, if you just do it, then, like, that's pretty gutsy to do. Like,
True.
if you just get over the embarrassment of it, then,
We're
I
good.
don't know, hard to
Pretty good.
explain.
I thought you were gonna say, like, when we were first starting to film in public and everything, I was the only one in our family that was brave enough to, like,
She is
scream
loud.
our intro. Like,
That's
'cause
true.
when I'm on camera, I, like, this is probably my normal voice, but when I'm on camera, I talk like this. I don't know why, but I kind of, like,
It could be
Yell
super
at
quiet in a store, nobody's talking, and all of a sudden you hear Jordan.
if I'm filming, then you'll hear me go, "Hi guys, welcome back to." And so I figured that would probably be one because everyone else was so shy at the beginning.
Yeah,
so I just
at
screamed
the
it out.
beginning that probably embarrassed me a little bit, but now I don't
Yeah.
even care, and I don't
It's
care
like,
if people look, and it doesn't faze me. Like if people look at me in public and we're being like kind
Yeah.
of annoying, because we're always annoying.
Yeah,
I
we don't
know.
purposely try
No,
and
we're
like,
honestly, we try to be respectful,
Yes.
honestly, wherever we go, because especially out in public, we
Yeah.
respect other people and we try not to get them on camera, we try not to disturb them.
Yes. But sometimes
Yes.
when we do film in public, I do realize I'm a little bit loud. Not too crazy though. Okay, last question. This one goes hand in hand with the other one. What is a time that you embarrassed me?
Have I embarrassed you?
I don't know. Is
I
there a
don't
time
know
that you remember that I've
done
forgotten?
anything embarrassing, so I mean, no, I'm not embarrassing. Okay, I've done plenty of embarrassing things.
We just don't get embarrassed easily.
I was gonna say that's the hard thing is with our family is that we're so past being embarrassed.
Yeah.
That
We don't even like, we're like, eh.
it just would be hard to embarrass at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
That's true. That's what I'd say too. I don't think you've ever embarrassed me. Like some parents, like, you know, there's like
teens that
movies
would
and
get
stuff
embarrassed if their mom
Yeah.
does or dad does something. in
Yeah,
front
and like
of
the movies and
friends
stuff, but
But you guys would just be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, the more embarrassing for us, the funnier it is. And
True.
So we don't find
True.
it embarrassing, we find it funny.
Yeah.
Like, so it's
Yeah.
different. I guess we're just different.
the embarrassing story I remembered was from when I was in elementary school and I was like one of the like student aid helper people, and I would in the carpool pickup I would open up doors for kids to go inside their car and then close it and say like, have a good day.
Oh yes!
And I remember this one lady came through and I opened the door and the kid got inside and I don't remember what was going through my head. I think I was thinking of you or something, but I said, love you, bye, and then I closed the door and then I opened the door again and I went, I didn't, love you. And then I closed it and I had to sit there while they waited in line and just stared at me as they inched past. It was
But
so
how great
embarrassing.
is that? Like, as the parent,
It was so good.
you drop off your kid, you're headed to work, and another kid
Yeah.
tells you they love you. That's great!
Yeah, it was funny though.
Oh my gosh.
Not funny at the time, funny now though.
Shara also called her boy science teacher
Mom.
which
Yeah.
is kind of funny.
Yeah, I did that. A lot of people did
I
that
guess
though.
that could be kind of embarrassing.
That's true,
I bet
yeah.
teachers get that all the time.
Alright you guys, that is going to be it for today's video. This was so much fun. Okay, I have so many more questions, so be on the lookout for part 2.
Yes, we need a part 2.
Part 2. You have so many more things to expose about me, I feel, and
I'm hoping.
there's gonna be another video, so stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe